Okay, good. Call the meeting to order. Kim, notice, please.
Greenwich Township Committee special meeting August 4th, 9 a.m. Adequate notice of this meeting was given in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act by mailing the schedule of the Township Committee to the Express Times and North Star Ledger newspaper, posting a copy on the Township Bulletin Board, and filing a copy with the Township Clerk.
Roll call.
Kenya?
Here.
Dean?
Here.
Spencer?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Here.
Parsons?
Here. Flag salute, please. Please stand. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first matter of business, I guess, is the award. Actually, the only matter of business is the awarding of the bids for Thomas Stewart Park. Mike, what do you got for us?
Okay. Almost 2 months ago, June 7th, we had a bid opening. We received 2 bids. That information and the summaries have been distributed, been discussed both with the Open Space Committee, and of course with the Township Committee. And the Township has adopted a bond ordinance, which I'm going to kick just a quick comment to Ms. Campbell in a sec. So, with all that being said, the action today and my recommendation is that the Township award the contract for Thomas Stewart Park to Sampson Concrete and Masonry per his bid received on June 7th, but for only the base bid items, which total $373,869, and alternate bid item 1, which is the concession stand. That is $188,670. Oh, I. Yeah, you know, I'm looking at my... Thanks. Thank you. It is alternate bid I. What's the second one? With the total award being, for the base bid and the concession stand, $562,539. Now, there's an estoppel period associated with the bond ordinance, which apparently terminates within the next couple days. So, my question to Katrina would be, is there certain language that this motion needs to take because of that?
Yes, we recommend that when you make this motion today, that you just make it conditioned upon the running of the estoppel period, which will run Sunday at midnight. So Monday, which will be the first day you get the contracts anyway, you're free to do the contracts and do everything. But because it ended on a weekend, the 60 days ended on a weekend, we'll award it today to make sure we meet all the time frame, but it's also conditioned upon the running of the estoppel period. So on Monday, you're free to start working contracts on.
So the language is based on the ending of the estoppel period Sunday night?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can just say conditioned upon the running of the estoppel period.
You done? You good?
I'm done.
You need anything else, Katrina, or you good? Okay, so we're looking for a motion to
Yes.
award this bid then, right?
So I'll make a motion to award the bid, the base bid, and alternate bid I, which is the concession stand. Mike, you might want to just say what the base bid entails?
Sure. The base bid, and I sent a bunch of stuff out yesterday afternoon for those of you who had a chance to take a look at it. The base bid is all the county road improvements. That's a big function of the base bid, which is a requirement. We have to do that, or otherwise the county won't give us a final sign-off, and we technically wouldn't be able to open the park. The excavation and the establishment of, of the walking path, but not the paving of the walking path. So the excavation and the stone base course for the walking path throughout the property, and other miscellaneous site improvements, some handicap signage and ramps, ADA requirements, the wet well for the sewer pump that's being put in next to the concession stand, and of course the concession stand, and also some concrete sidewalk and the foundation associated with the concession stand.
All right, so once again, I'll make a motion for us to accept the base bid, alternate bid I, which is the concession stand, with the condition of the estoppel period ending Sunday night.
Anyone want a second?
Second.
Any comments, questions, discussion? Roll call?
Kenya?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes?
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Marson?
Yes. Okay. Guess we have enough?
I have, if it's okay. And Kim, I assume you put any other action? Very good. There's actually, 2 things, but both very quick and simple. One related to the park and one not. One of the conditional, approval requirements from the county is that the township formally request a mid-block crosswalk. Now, if any of you are familiar with the plans, obviously, the bike path runs up the north side of Greenwich Street. Of course, the park is on the south side of Greenwich Street. So, as part of the county road improvements, we are constructing a mid-block crosswalk from the bike path with the appropriate ADA ramps and so forth across Greenwich Street to connect to the park to allow for obviously pedestrian access across Greenwich Street. Now there's going to be the flashing pedestrian warning signals and so forth. We've also already asked them to review the speed limit and the passing zone, which has been sent, that was sent months ago. The thought being to eliminate the passing zone in the area and potentially reduce the speed limit for what that's worth. Okay, but the county wants a formal request. So, I have drafted a letter, which is very simple, which basically asks for the county's approval of the mid-block crosswalk, which should be under the mayor's signature. So, if you want me to read it real quick to you, so you can vote. And again, don't have to vote today necessarily, but it'd be nice to just get it in. There's plans right there that I dropped off to Kim, are the township's copies of revised plans, which actually I am dropping off on my way back to the office, to the county, ironing out a couple other things. Okay, this is on Greenwich Township letterhead. To the freeholders, reference request for mid-block crosswalk. Dear freeholders, as you are aware, the Township of Greenwich is currently in a construction process, specifically the first of 2 phases for the municipal park referred to as Thomas Stewart Park. The anticipated date of completion for the park and subsequent opening to the public is estimated to be somewhere between the fall of 2017 and the spring of 2018. The Township has been working in conjunction with the Warren County Engineers Office relating to the improvements along Greenwich Street in the vicinity of the park. The second phase of the project will include widening of Greenwich Street along the park frontage as well as flashing pedestrian signs in an effort to improve the safety for the anticipated pedestrian traffic accessing the park. The purpose of this letter is to formally request approval for the proposed mid-block crosswalk. After much discussion with the Warren County Engineers Office, the Township and its professionals, the mid-block crosswalk is the safest, most economical option for the residents of Greenwich to access the park. Safety of the citizens is of the utmost concern and is the reason for our previous petition for a traffic evaluation along Greenwich Street. The Township has done everything in its power to ensure the access to the park will be as safe as possible. Very truly yours, Robert Parsons, Mayor.
Mike, I got a question for you. Are we requesting a reduction in speed limit also in that area?
Yeah, there was a letter maybe 3-4 months ago, approximately. Another similar letter went out, I think, because you would have signed it if it was last year, so I think it went out under Bob's signature, doing just that, asked for reduction in the speed limit and the elimination of the passing zone along the frontage, along Greenwich Street.
Okay.
So that's with them now.
Okay. You got something else to add? I think you should too.
Well, but this is, the second thing is about the roads, the roadway program. So you want to just make a motion to have you sign this letter?
I'll make the motion that the mayor sign the mid-block crosswalk
approval request.
Approval request.
Thank you.
Is that everything?
Discussion, comments, questions?
I'll try, I haven't actually seen the plans for the widening or anything else like that. How are you going to make the right-hand side, the bike path, handicap accessible to the street, considering it's really only about 4 foot wide, at a 3% grade and stuff like that? Isn't that ramp going to be enormous?
No, you want to see it? I mean-
Not right now.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, no, there is work that is going to be required, which is part of what we're awarding today.
Right.
On the bike path side, to facilitate ADA access and so forth. So there is some removal of the existing bike path and some...
And then, yeah, okay, all right.
To get
Okay.
down to the grade,
Yep,
bring
that's
the
fine.
grade and so forth. So,
I was just kind of curious. I was like,
Yeah, no, we-
wow, that's a monster ramp.
well, because it sits...
Right.
Yeah,
right. Well, at 3 degrees, I'm thinking to myself, Jesus, that's 20 foot up and 20 foot back. Right, okay.
Anybody else?
Do we have a second? Oh,
No,
we'll
yeah,
second.
we got a second. Roll call?
Kenyak?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
O'Connor?
Yes.
Parsons?
Yes.
Perfect, okay. Mr. Mayor, if you could sign this before you leave, and I'll drop this off when I drop the other stuff off at the county. Perfect. Switching gears completely. I'm sorry to drop these other couple of things, but the timing of this meeting and other things just works out. The 2017 roadway program for the township. Obviously, you've authorized us to move this ahead. We've been talking to co-op, we've been talking to Joe Mexi, and I thought maybe Joe would be here. Part of, we are now going through the co-op for the resurfacing, which obviously is much cheaper, and it will allow us to get more roads done. Okay, but there are two things that are outside of the co-op. One is the upgrade of the inlets, because there's rules that state when you resurface a roadway, you've got to upgrade the inlets to bicycle safe and stormwater management standards. We've already talked to Joe about that. He's going to take care of that as far as having the DPW, and we're going to buy those inlets, because there's quite a few, like 78. We're going to buy them through the co-op, through the monies in this program, so it's not out of the co-op, out of the DPW funds. And he's going to take care of that, so that's all set up. The other thing is there are some really nasty cracks that go across some of these roads that are opened up, and they've been sealed and band-aided over years, but they really, you shouldn't just overlay over a big crack like that, because it's going to, what they call, it's going to transfer through, and it's going to end up cracking at the new blacktop. So, the DPW really can't do that kind of work. It's kind of a specialty work of pavement repair, and it's not that difficult, or really not that even expensive, but it needs to be, I'm going to use the word bid, but it's not really bid. We're going to go out, we've estimated that this is going to come in somewhere between $15,000 and $20,000 to repair all the cracks in all the roads we're resurfacing. Okay, so that number is, again, part of the program through the monies the township already has budgeted, so it's not extra money. But it should be done, and we should go out to get quotes. So it's quick and simple, and we should be able to do that in advance of the regular meeting coming up on the 17th, so we can award that work on the 17th. So, second request, I guess, is for you to authorize our office to go out and solicit quotes for the asphalt repair associated with the 2017 roadway resurfacing program, which needs to be done in advance of the overlay project.
We're going to get these done this year?
Yeah, no, that's the plan. We've already talked to co-op. We got to get. One of the conditions when we solicit these quotes is that they're going to have to get in like ASAP and get this work done by the beginning of September. so we can move this forward. No, I'm well aware we gotta get the ball rolling, so that's the plan.
Anybody want to make the motion?
I make the motion.
I'll second.
A second. Comments, questions, discussion? Roll call.
Kenya?
Yes.
Dean?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Marson?
Yes. You're all done?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your indulgence.
Katrina, you have anything you need to add? Okay,
Well, it's not really bid, we're just gonna, like,
For the roadway.
oh, for the roadway, after the 17th. No, we're not going after it for the roadway, because we're going to, we're going to a co-op, that's the beauty of it. Yeah.
I'll make a motion, we open for public comment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone, member of the public wishing to speak? Okay. Make a motion to close public comment.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody want to make a motion to adjourn? Roll call.
Old business?
What do you have that we,
Yeah. and
yeah,
then it was-
okay, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. When we were out at the park for the water line, and we had some email discussion with this, and
Since you're on there.
road department,
I'll share with you.
I am on there.
I was actually there, I saw that.
these are the, piles of debris that are on the backside of the property owners. So I wanted to make that clear. Frank and Joe and I were having discussions about it. This is from the property line to the berm,
Mm-hmm.
just so everybody's aware of it. The piles are huge, as Mike can tell you about. Some of the property owners cleaned up behind the property and everything. Some of the property owners are the ones that were dumping on the township property. The last two pictures that's the sewer line, or the catch basin line that collapsed up on Water Tower Road. And Joe was working on that, washed out the bank and everything. But I just wanted to give everybody a copy of the pictures that we took when we were over there, just so we know what we're getting into. It's not a one-day job. The other thing that we were discussing with Mike about is, we know it has to be cleaned up, and on the March 16th council meeting, Joe said that it was going to be a fill-in project towards springtime because of the crack sealing, all the gutter sinking, and everything else he has done. All right? He knows it's high and everything else. The problem that we were talking about with Mike was, it's a construction site that technically we own the property, but it's like any other construction site, even when you're building a new school. Property owner goes on the property and tries to take control or do anything on it, you're responsible for anything that happens on that property, damage-wise to the property. So, talking with Mike, he confirmed it, right, Mike? With bringing the machinery up there, we touch the berm, we touch the hill, we touch everything else, and we're gonna be responsible for replacing and repairing everything up
Well,
there.
then you need to clarify, Mike, 'cause that's not what you told me.
No, there's two different discussions and two different questions. There is, because of the nature of the type and amount of material that needs to get cleared, because it's not just it's pretty significant.
It's massive.
In certain areas, it's pretty big.
About 400 yards long, has to get
So,
cleared.
that they're gonna have to get a piece of equipment in there, even if it's a rubber tire machine. But they're gonna need to get a backhoe up there.
And dump trucks.
Maybe a loader, and a truck. Obviously, if you have dry conditions and the ground has obviously been stabilized, you could probably get in and out of there without doing a lot of damage. However, you also, it's my same concern with the future paving of the walking path and getting trucks in and out of the site and what damage that may do to the park. But this is obviously isolated to the property line. That is a concern, that whoever goes up there, whether that's a contractor we hire or the DPW, that there's potential for rutting, disturbance of that area. And then it's going to be our baby to fix. I mean, that's just the past. There's no getting around that.
One of the other problems too is when we put the swale in up top, all the water's pitching into this area down there, and the poles up there too. So it's wet. It's not dry.
I mean, it'll dry out after a couple of days.
Right.
Well, we got all that rain last night. No, I'm sure today it's wet. I forgot about it yesterday. So, I mean, it certainly can get done. It just needs to be, we need to be aware of the potential for damage and be prepared to fix whatever gets disturbed if that happens. I mean, that's the
What type of
reality.
damage are you talking about? You're talking about some ruts, some gashes in the...
Yeah, we're talking about, yeah.
So
exactly.
just regrit, just
It would be
go over that and
regrading and
just...
reseeding, most likely. Yeah, that's...
I'm not talking about major park damage, or are we?
No. No.
And the one- the-
It's not near the field, so...
Well, the one other concern we had was all the soil that we moved to make the berm,
Right,
driving the equipment on top of that before it settled.
right.
That's where you're gonna get your major damage on the berm and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Joe's aware of it. Joe's got it on the schedule. The problem is, we got gutters on, when the farm's falling in, we got that gutter up on, Water Tower Road where the guy couldn't even get into his house because it was all washed out.
You mean the store drains?
It's a catch basin.
Here's one of my
No.
concerns, so after we clean this up, what are we gonna do about to make sure that these residents in the future don't throw this
Well,
stuff?
we were
there?
discussing
You know,
about...
no one takes my stuff away if I pile it up in the backyard, so
Well-
now we're removing debris for private homeowners.
We're not removing any debris that's on their property, though.
If they
but
dump it
it's-
on there.
It's from the
There's no
top.
proof, I mean, you can't make that statement.
Well,
You'd have to
we-
witness it happening. to
Well,
make that-
I've been in the business a long time to know that somebody's been
I think
dumping.
I could surmise
Somebody, but
that
look,
they threw it
and
on.
there's previous
Who's gonna
homeowners.
who's gonna pull in there and throw it in there? Let's be realistic.
Yeah,
I mean,
and-
I'm not talking about taking them to court, but let's be realistic. Who else would have thrown it in there?
All right, I walked that property with Bill, what did you, I mean, I didn't see, what did you see, a few branches or something?
Yeah, you're gonna see,
These are dump truck piles.
stuff like this.
What are you showing me?
That's definitely right.
What is that?
That's a big pile of debris. That's about, 4 or 5 feet tall, and the trees tall.
Frank, something like this,
That
Yeah,
pile
that's
right there.
definitely, this stuff is definitely not homegrown, I mean, it's
I'm
not
not
there.
throwing any landscapers under the bus, but the landscapers who were hired
This
over
is
there...
definitely-
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Cut branches and
Yeah,
threw
the
them
landscaper
outside. They
who
said
works
they were
for him
township
has
trees.
told me
If
about
it's
the dumping.
encroachment onto your property, you can cut the branches at your own expense.
This is
But
definitely,
I'm not gonna
yeah.
go to your house, trim your bushes that are hanging on my property and throw them over the fence.
Right, yeah.
That's what's happening here.
Yeah, Frank, something like that, this picture, that's
Yeah,
definitely...
that's what I'm thinking. That's
That's
what the homeowner, nobody,
That's not the first time, this is the first time we've known about this? I mean, how come this wasn't taken care of
It
years
was
ago?
cornfields.
Because no one was in there.
Yeah, nobody was using that.
No one was in that area now.
I mean, honestly, probably any row of trees like that behind people's property that goes to a farmer's field is probably all full like that.
It's awful.
I mean,
You
it
go down,
happens all the time.
Union Farms and
But,
Texas Basin, and people...
You know, that's gonna be a
touch
park,
them.
and we're paying to get it cleaned up. I don't want them to think that they're just gonna be able to keep throwing their stuff there, and we're gonna keep picking it up.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Send them all letters.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what... the
Yeah,
other
send them
thing
all letters, there's an ordinance to cover it.
is, It's a one-and-done cleanup, and if there's
Right,
any
you know,
debris...
Yeah, this
couple of
company-
dumping signs and everything's good.
Yeah, and I just one other question.
I mean, some of that could be for years. The whole thing is sold, it may not be the current homeowner, but
Exactly.
to think somebody else pulled in there and threw it in there, I think would be pretty
Yeah,
evil.
right.
You can't even get there, I mean,
Hey, listen, it could have been done there when the development was built, and it could have been pushed there, you don't know.
Nah, I don't think it would have been there for 25 years.
I don't know, why not? It's not on their property, but anyway.
Well,
Well,
the bottom line is,
Apple and oranges, it's
but that's
here.
behind us. So Mike, we're
What do you
gonna
want us
clean
to
it
do
up.
here? Are we-
But I just want to make sure in the
FYI,
future
or-
that doesn't happen.
Oh, yeah, I think it's an FYI.
I got one other question, I got
What are
another
we
question.
doing? Do you have a motion? I mean,
No, I just wanted to explain what was going on.
Okay.
And the only thing I asked is that if you're going to notify Joe or anybody else, just CC me on the email, so I know.
yeah, sure.
I talked to Joe about,
Notify Joe what? It was a question to Joe. I don't need to CC you whenever I
Oh, but you're
talk to
talking to somebody
anybody.
else.
You know, everybody goes to the Open
It's like if I
Space
go to your
Committee. Bill goes to the Open Space Committee all the time and asks them questions.
Bill's on the
I don't
Open
feel
Space Committee.
offended. Any resident in this town could go to anybody in this town and ask
Which
questions.
is understandable.
So I feel
And if I-
offended when you have to
Well,
say,
you
I
can be offended all you
got to
want.
copy at you on every
You
kind of...
CC me because it's like me going to the police
Listen,
department
if Joe
asking
wants to
him do
CC you,
something.
that's fine, that's fine.
All right, we can play that.
But, yeah, we could play that, because you're the one who escalated all this,
Yeah,
threatening to send, people after the
I didn't
residents and...
escalate anything.
Well, we made a
Fines or
vote,
anything
we
like
made a vote.
We said
You
about
voted
sending-
for it, it was voted to get done in the
clean up in
spring,
March.
and you didn't, in the spring, in early summer, it's on tape, you gotta watch the tape.
Joe said what?
I watched the tape,
Well,
Will.
clean up, that's fine.
I watched the tape.
It's on there,
You
but
voted
it's
for
clean
it.
up.
It's not getting done, For some reason, you don't want to get it done. I don't know
we want
why.
to get it done.
And you
but
keep,
as
so
the
when are you gonna get it
construction
done?
site-
What date? When are you gonna
As
do
soon
it?
as Mike says that the conditions
All right, so
are
Mike
fine
said it
over
could
there.
be done, and when we made the
All right,
motion
and then when
originally,
we get
that
it
berm
done, we'll get it
existed.
done.
None of this came up when the original motion was made. Nobody said, oh, we made a motion, but we can't go on the
At-
park.
at the time
When
we
we
had
made the
the
motion, the
motion.
berm was gonna be there, and nobody said we're not gonna do it. Now all of a sudden, it's an issue, we can't do it. The berm's there, we can't go on the park. I talked to Mike, he told me we could go on the park. You could get through there from Dory Place. I don't know, you got some problem with the people that live there?
I don't have any problem with
Yeah,
any
well, it
people
seems
that
that
live
way to
there.
me. It seems that way to
I
me.
got a problem with cleaning up and destroying all the work that we did on the
So
side.
why didn't
over there.
you make that motion, why didn't you state that when you made the original motion?
Because originally we didn't know how the work was going over there. Now
The
we
work
see
stopped for
everything.
how long? You
Now
could
we
have got on
have-
that property.
At the time in
Now,
March,
listen,
was the berm there?
Well, the bottom line is, we're gonna get it
We're gonna get it cleaned up. It's a matter of doing this, and I didn't threaten or do any fines for anybody. All they said is, we're gonna clean everything up, that we can send letters. You can text an email if you want, that we would send letters to all the residents along the
I mean, it's gonna be
sideways.
easier
You
to
said you want to send the zoning officer.
Once it's
That's
cleaned up, it's gonna be easier to watch.
That's our letters, that's our letters. You said you
Zoning
want to
officer be notified
you
about
said you want to send the
dumping.
zoning officer there.
Yeah, about dumping over there, it's a zoning violation, and
Okay.
then we can send letters to everybody over there about not dumping on township property anymore.
Okay?
Didn't threaten anybody with fines and stuff like that.
Okay. You done?
I'm
Now,
fine.
just for the record, if I want to contact anybody in this town, I don't have to copy anybody. I have the right,
That's
I have the
fine.
right to speak to anybody.
You have
That's
the
what I'm
right
going
to
to
speak to
say.
anybody.
And you know
I
what, you
just
can
asked as a
contact,
committee
you
thing.
can contact any of my direct reports that you want to. I won't be offended.
And I just asked about just getting CC'd, just so we know what's going on. It's fine. You want to contact anybody you want, go ahead, be my guest. It's your privilege.
We're good? Motion to adjourn, anybody?
I'll make it.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
What's wrong with this?
How to go up past the new playground?
Kim, you know, I sent you that email about the street lights from the Red Master. I just forwarded it to you.
Yeah, we get some,
Joe,
I think it'd be nice.
Yeah, but I just copied you to show you that I sent it to those people. But I think if the guy comes in, you can say, because I get the record.
No, no, right.
Because they might want to
No, that's fine.
with shining.
Sam doesn't have an issue
I talked
with
to
it.
Marty, just remember to be associated.